but it's a super labor intense process. We've got machined aluminum tubes that are machined to very high tolerances. And then we have these jigs and fixtures and molds and different things that the upper assembly has to go into to make sure that it, sets perfectly straight. And that's the first thing that we have to do, right? That all that does is gets us the upper assembly. So before we do anything else, like we've got to go through that whole process. Mm-hmm. And much like carbon bikes, I was saying to you guys this morning, mm-hmm. One of the things with carbon is it just is so labor intense, and the manufacturers, there's just no way around it. You have to have people laying carbon into the molds and, by hand. That's just the way that process works. And same thing, like this upper structure, it's not something we can automate, or at this point, it's not even on our radar to be able to automate it, because it's really, it's like, white glove type service, and someone who's really focused on building that thing.
Sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
Was it the Marzocchi? Was it the rack or the RAC?
Yeah.
It was an upside down one?
Yep.
Was that a one piece, like kind of like an inverted, like a one piece magnesium?
I think that might have been carbon.
Was it carbon?
I think Marzocchi back in the day, that red kind of fork. Yeah. I think that might've been a one piece carbon structure. I believe the, what's it called? RS1, that RockShox tried that RS1 and that was, I think, wasn't that one piece carbon? So. Yeah. I think that was carbon.
Okay. So it's been done that way, but does it just not work as well? Like, do you have any idea?
I think, so I'll disclose that we started in carbon. Because we thought that was the way to go. And there was big challenges. The alignment ruled it out pretty quick. So we met with, some carbon people. We met with some different people. We met with Joe Stanish from C3, the guys who are doing all the fiber fusion, wheels and all that stuff. And everybody kind of looked at what we were trying to build, and it was like, oh, wow, that's... you want to try to do what? And so for us, we abandoned carbon pretty early because all the experts said what you're trying to achieve, we don't feel confident achieving that. And so that's why we ended up with an aluminum upper structure. So I don't know, because to be honest, I haven't looked at an RS1 very closely. I definitely haven't looked at that Marzocchi very closely. But I think that in carbon, I know for us and what we looked at, the experts we talked to, we couldn't get carbon to meet our tolerance, demands basically.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's the thing, right? So, we don't know because we never built the carbon, and maybe we could have made it work, but we did know that through what we learned, the alignment and having that upper structure built a specific way was going to be it's the foundation for making the whole fork work right. And so we weren't going to compromise with that. And then, like I said, once we started building the aluminum stuff and prototyping it ourselves and controlling that tolerance, we were getting the results that we wanted. And so we never looked back. We just said, this is the way we're going to go.